No, I'm glad to do this with y'all. With the reach you got and the things you're doing, and talking about Operation Prefrontal Cortex. So the operation started after I got shot. I got shot in my back in 2015 at a party, and did a TED Talk shortly after that called "Message to the Man Who Shot Me," and it really got into the brain science of, it's just the question, what would make someone pull out a gun on a dance floor and shoot someone? It's a New Year's party, like we're all dressed up. Some dude shoots someone in the chest, a bullet goes through two people and hits me in my back. And I'm just a nerd in general. There's things I've been studying. I had created a show called Mr. Tachyon, and we had done an episode about meditation. What could you do with meditation? And like we took a guy, put him in a freezer truck. He said, when I meditate, I can keep my body temperature up. And we put him in a freezer truck and had him meditate. And he kept his body temperature up. And then we did a control. We put like a regular guy in a freezer truck, and we almost killed him. We had to pull him out.
The other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, but in doing that, I was researching the brain and what meditation does, and also researching the brain of, in the studies, you'll say like antisocial personality disorder, right? But really, people snappy. You can't control your impulses, and they found that people who are more prone to violent and aggressive behavior, that their prefrontal cortex, which is decision making, is the part of your brain that says, "Oh, I'm in my bedroom. This is acceptable behavior. Oh, I'm at lunch in a restaurant. This is acceptable behavior." This is the prefrontal cortex. That the more violent and aggressive person, their prefrontal cortex is smaller than the average person. And then their amygdala, which is emotional control, was bigger than the average person, right? And so, the amygdala actually can turn off your prefrontal cortex. Have you ever blacked out? You ever been in a situation where you blacked out, and next thing you know, you're in some crazy shit, right? There's some kind of stress, black hole, and then you're in it. That's your amygdala saying, okay, we're not going to think. It's just going to be emotion.
It's like when they say I lost it.
When you say you lost it, that's what it is. The amygdala makes a decision. Okay, this is no more thinking. I read another thing about childhood abuse and neglect. And in that study, they say this is permanent brain damage. They literally say in the study, this is permanent brain damage that happens to a kid, a child that is abused or neglected. So ignoring your kid and punching your kid has the same effect. And again, the prefrontal cortex is too small, the amygdala is too big. So it's that same aggressive, right, violent personality. Find that again. Then found new ones recently about stress. Stress damages the brain. Stress shrinks your prefrontal cortex and enlarges your amygdala. So you keep seeing these same things coming up over and over again, which explains a lot of what we got going on. Police officers and first responders, even teachers, and the deeper part is that it can lock in your fight or flight response, right? The brain just says, we don't have time to assess any situation. The moment it looks like it's like that, I'm going to that place. So I'm seeing all these studies, and then I find these other studies about meditation. And they say, meditation changes the brain. Meditation gives volume to your prefrontal cortex and shrinks your amygdala. The exact opposite of the stress and the abuse in the neglect. So now we can make a little hypothesis that, well, if you took violent people and got them to start meditating, it should change the brain and reverse, right, this violent and aggressive behavior. So now I start researching real life examples. And I found a prison in Mexico had a prison riot, one of the most violent prisons in Mexico. They had a prison riot where they killed 44 people in one prison riot. And they started meditating. After that, no more extreme violence. It was the prisoners and the guards. No more extreme violence after the meditation program. Found a school in San Francisco. Incredibly violent neighborhood, literally dead bodies on the playground. Every day the kids are fighting. They start meditating. Attendance goes up, marks go up. Some of their worst behaving kids suddenly become their best performing students. Like the whole school environment changes. And when we started Operation Prefrontal Cortex, the real mission is spreading this message, right? And we recently shot a documentary with Headspace about a community here in Malton. And Malton is this small kind of a city. I mean, they got the sign that says "Welcome to Malton," so it's more than a neighborhood, not quite a city. It's all very confusing. But Malton, you know, they've had their shit happen out there, man. It's really rough. One of the largest shootings we've had out here. There's a shooting 144 rounds, and one of the kids who got killed in that, just a bystander. So this school and this class called GLE really rocked the class. Really, they took it hard, and the teacher had heard about meditation, and this thing was kind of in the air, and said, well, let's try meditating. And then trying to get the kids, because you can imagine saying to a bunch of black kids in the hood, let's meditate to deal with gun violence. Like, none of that seems like it makes any sense. But in that, she showed them the TED Talk, right? Brought up people like NLE Choppa, J. Cole, you know, the people they may admire that actually do this meditation, and seeing their lives change. It really, you know, it just brings a calm. It does what it does to the brain. And that's our mission, that this practice will change how you deal with stress. Everyone who starts meditating regularly has a moment in their life where something's going on, something that they normally would have snapped and gotten upset about. And they go, oh, I would have,
Yeah.
you know, a
Approaches
few months
differently.
ago, I would have really brought it to you. Look, I guess this is working. And that's it. And what I really believe, man, it is until the school systems catch up to us and start to just do it, we have to bring the messaging ourselves. It's really one by one grassroots stuff until we get there. And this could really be the thing that makes a difference in our communities.
What's the time frame that you see? I mean, maybe on average, based on that shrinking, enlarging.
After 8 weeks, you can, in the brain scan, after 8 weeks, they can see it.
Wow.
Okay.
How many minutes per day were they doing it?
Maybe 10, 15. That's a good
Really?
little, yeah. Look, it doesn't have to be much. And the meditation that I do is actually a very enjoyable one, right? So it's not the woo-woo, clear your brain, and there's ones like that, of course. But so long as you're doing something. But again, yeah, 10 minutes be great. I used to do 15 minutes a day. Now I'm doing half an hour. It's essential. And when it's, especially now in the age of social media, forget even getting to, you know, violence and actually hurting somebody and everything that comes with that. You getting into an argument in McDonald's and saying the wrong thing or doing, you know what I'm saying? Just you know what that is. Could derail your whole life. It gets filmed the wrong way, goes viral the wrong way. Like, the ability to just stay calm and assess the situation and keep your wits about you at a young age is important, man. I mean,
But when you brought it to the schools, I know you said there was a teacher who said she wanted to try it. How receptive were they? I know, you know, a lot of times with schools, when they look at the time frame of a day, they're like, we can't fit this. But I've seen schools that have calmness rooms where it's for selected kids to go. Everybody doesn't have access to it.
well, that's where we're at. Like, the schools themselves, the bureaucracy is insane. And in the documentary, I speak on it. If they were serious about education, if they're serious about safety, if they're serious about the health of the students and the teachers, they would implement this immediately. There's a study that happened in New York where only the teachers meditated, not even the kids. And that changed the entire school. They didn't discipline the same way. They weren't so harsh with the kids. They were more understanding. They took more time. It changed the way the teachers were behaving. So this is we get a full-on teachers and students meditating, we change a generation. So that's our thing. That teacher, we didn't approach her. She looked at her kids and saw the trauma that they're in and said, I've got to do something. Let me try meditation. And we gave them the tools. Again, that TED Talk, I made it to be that. Here's the studies on the brain. Here's the real life examples when people started doing it. And, you know, and hopefully someone say, I'm going to try, right?
How long did it take for you to see a change once you began meditating?
I'm not sure. I had that moment, definitely. Where I'm like, oh, a minute ago, I would have walled out. And now that I'm really, I don't know, maybe 10 years in, things really flow much differently. They really flow much differently. It's as far as how I interact, what would get me angry.
So part of that process, right, because you said the message to the man who shot me was understanding why it happened. Was there a part of it that began to feel empathy or forgiveness?
It's always been a stray bullet. So it wasn't like I was wilding in the city and there's no grand street tale to tell about what happened to me. So I've never had like revenge, none of that foolishness. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So empathy, yeah, I mean, meditation helps with your empathy in general. I expanded out further. We have much more serious things going on, not, who knows, some argument that a guy lost his cool in a New Year's party versus kids hunting each other down and, you know what I mean, getting upset over, like, we got a real crisis everywhere. This city, every city everywhere. These kids really need this. So again, that's why I wanted to talk with you guys. You guys have this platform. You reach so many people to have this conversation and hopefully reach more folks.
On the career side, can you talk to us about how it has helped impact you or helped elevate your way of thinking and projects you were able to get done post meditating frequently versus not doing it?
My sets are real fun places to be now. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't, I mean, I came up in the Kanye, Damon.
Shout out to those gentlemen.
shout out to the wild out generation of hip hop. We used to go fucking nuts on set. We were all just wild. And now looking back and what it could have been, like if I could get in the time machine and tell myself something, as tempted as I would be to say buy the brownstone across the street, it would really be meditate. But what I've begun to do is actually, especially with my background actors, with the extras, I'll have them close their eyes and do a meditation and then visualize the scene. Right? I just did 2 episodes of Genius for National Geographic, and for season 4, that's about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And we're doing Selma. You know, it's cool. Everyone kind of gets it. No. Everyone close your eyes. It is 1964. You are black in the South. Visualize your day. You're on the black side of town. Now go to the white side of town. Have an interaction with someone that's aggressive, with a white person. Come back to the black part of town, go to bed, wake up. Now you're coming to, you know what I'm saying? Like, even as I'm saying it, you can kind of, but when, you know, close your eyes, take deep breath, and then I go to the cops. It's 1964. You're a white police officer, and you know what I'm saying? Picture, you know what I mean? Like I get, and it helps bring a level of performance to a bunch of actors that are often just like, yeah, you guys, the extras, pretend it's scary. I don't do pretend it's scary. I go close your eyes and, you know, see the aliens, and now open your eyes and do what you saw yourself do. So beyond even as a personal thing for my own development and behavior and, you know, all that, I'm now bringing it into the realm with the people I work with.
So before we wrap, like, what do you think we can do? When I say we, everybody, because it's everybody's responsibility to really move the needle and make this mainstream. Like, what's needed for this to become, you know, prevalent in society?
You got to see how easy it is. I'm going to lead you all through a meditation. How about that?
Okay, that'd be fun.
It's something that people can take, and you know what I mean? But I think that's the big one, seeing how easy it is. And also, the meditation that I do is something called the Silva method. So he came up with this in the 50s or 60s. And back then he called it Silva mind control, but he had to change it because mind control, whatever. But his whole thing is that the universe vibrates, or the frequency of the universe is the alpha wave, okay? And if you meditate and you can get your brain down to the alpha wave, it's like a cheat code. And if you start visualizing, it's like you're slipping in. Give me a car. Give me a, you know what I'm saying? And the universe will manifest these things. Whether or not that's going to happen for you, but maybe it does.
Maybe.
But whether or not that happens or not, it's still a good meditation. And when you get to that place, you'll see it feels good to just live in this moment where you're just visualizing your goals.
We gonna do that now?
We're going to do it now. Let's
Let's
do it.
do it.
a
Let's
short
do
one.
it.
All right. So
All right, let's do it.
close your eyes, get into a comfortable position. Take a deep breath in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Now, as you breathe in and you exhale, visualize and repeat the number 3 times. 3, 3, 3. Think about the top of your head, where bone meets scalp, and tell it to relax. Think about your forehead, your face, cheeks, and eyes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale through your mouth, tell it to relax. Think about your mouth, chin, neck. Breathe in, and as you exhale, tell it all to relax. Think about your shoulders and chest, your arms, all the way down to your hands, right to your fingertips. Breathe in, and as you exhale, tell it all to relax. Think about your stomach, your abdomen, your groin, your legs, calves and feet. Feel the blood flowing, breathing in, and as you exhale, tell it all to relax. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, visualize and repeat the number 2 3 times. 2, 2, 2. Now, visualize a place in nature that brings you calm and serenity, preferably a place in nature you've been to yourself. Using all your senses, see yourself in this place. See it, hear it, feel it. Take a moment to be in this place. Now, as you breathe in, I'm going to take you to a deeper state of mind. Breathing in, and as you exhale, visualize the number 1 3 times. 1, 1, 1. Picture yourself moving into a deeper state of mind. As you count from 9 to 0, visualizing each number as you go, visualize yourself descending deeper and deeper into your own mind. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now, in this deeper state of mind, visualize yourself, watching yourself achieving a goal you have for yourself. Watch yourself. What are you doing? Who are you with? Visualize the environment. See it all with all your senses. Watch yourself achieve that goal. Now, step inside of yourself and see yourself. Watch from your own eyes, achieving that goal, seeing it through your own eyes. Now, from your heart, push out great joy, gratitude, and expectancy, thankfulness at achieving this goal. I'm going to count you from 0 to 9 and make a sound. When I make the sound, you'll open your eyes feeling refreshed and awake. 0, 1, 2, visualizing each number. 3, 4, feel yourself rise up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Eyes open.
There you have it.
That was great.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
There you
Yeah.
have it.
If whoever's watching this and they're using that, you can just, once you've done the meditation enough that you know it, then you can just spend as much time as you want in each place. You can just be in nature for as long as you want to be. You can be in that goal achieving space for as long as you want to be. The way to think of this is like brain exercise. If you go to the gym and you do the push-ups and you do the sit-ups and you do all the exercise, your body will change. You meditate every day for a good amount of time, 5, 10, 15 minutes, even longer, your brain will change and the benefits will come.
X, always a pleasure, my
Yes, I
brother. In the
appreciate
late
it.
words, in the words of the late great Nipsey Hussle, you can have it all. It's all about your breathing. Very
Yeah.
important.
Great
Very
tie-in.
important to take time out to meditate, control your breathing, think positive thoughts.
Yeah. Because what you think does become a reality, good or bad.
Hey man, well, now you have the real trick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And look, and that's what we're saying, that this is good for the brain. Even if we're not manifesting our dreams into reality, this is good for the brain no matter what. But then if you want to get into the conversation that maybe this really is making the universe move things around for you, well, hey, I just see wins, you know what I mean, for bringing this into your lifestyle. So
How can people get in touch with your organization?
we're on Instagram, op.pfc.com. From there, they find the website. We actually have a bunch of guided meditations that we've made. So if you go onto the page, you'll find a meditation that works for you. All kinds of different people doing their meditation. This is my one. Like I said, I like that moment when I'm just winning in my own mind. You know what I mean? So this one works for me. I think it's one for young people. It just feels like one the normal
need it.
person can get with. You know what I mean? It's not too woo woo. But that's the thing. Op.pfc on Instagram. Give us a follow. Check out our guided meditations. Make it part of your life. You know what I'm saying?
There you have it.
The legend himself.
Namaste. Namaste.
Bless. Appreciate you guys.
Bless.
Yeah. Thank you. I needed that.
Great.